皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So, today's story, it's very hard for me to try to explain because I don't want anyone to think. First of all, I am very grateful about the people who say these things to me. What I'm going to be talking about today is I don't want anyone to think that I'm like completely irritated or angry about it. And also, it's also half my fault if I don't want those kind of people, saying these certain things to me. I shouldn't talk about this in the first place. And right now, you're probably thinking, what the heck are you talking about, Shogo? So try to let me get to the topic. But, because it started to get colder and colder in Japan, it's absolutely heading into winter and it's the end of autumn. When it starts to get colder, my sickness, my disease of the Raynaud syndrome starts to happen. Right now, I'm looking at my hands right now, but basically I have probably like 2 or 3 places on my fingers that are starting to rot. And this timing, the change of the seasons is absolutely the worst timing for me because I myself is not ready for it. And there are some really cold days, already in October, and at those timings, my hands start to get pretty bad. So yeah, but anyways, I do want to. Because I was really surprised. I made a video on my main channel before talking about my sickness, and I really was surprised that the information I provided on the video was quite useful for some people. And also, it seems like a lot of people are very concerned about my sickness too. So I have been like posting stories, for example, once in a while, showing how my hands are doing and so on and so forth. And it's not just now, but from the time when I first explained that I had the sickness in the first place. This is the main topic today, by the way. This is the main part of today's story, but a lot of people have been giving me advice on how to try to make it better. And like certain medicines or certain treatments or, therapies or all that kind of stuff. And my channel member, one of my fellow channel members have pointed that out for me in the comments, I believe, at that timing. But this is a very complicated part, again, I really appreciate your care and time, but also at the same time, it's really difficult. I get a lot of DMs telling me, Shogo, you should try out this. I mean, if it's like a specific medicine or a specific treatment, that's understandable. But there are people who, for example, would tell me, Shogo, why don't you like warm your hands more often? Or Shogo, why don't you wear gloves? Or Shogo, why don't you try out on this or that, and so on and so forth. Now, this, again, I know that 100% of the people who give me messages have no intentions, of course, trying to hurt me or, give me any negative feelings. But also at the same time, I do want to explain to you guys, my closest friends, that I've been fighting with this sickness for about 8 years now. So, and it of course affects my life very much. I basically can't hold anything with my hands anymore properly. It takes me like 3 minutes to pick up a smartphone from a table. So it does take a lot of time and it's very stressful, to be honest. I can't train in certain things and I can't hold things properly. All this kind of stuff is very hard on me. So I have tried basically everything I can think up of. This year, I still will be trying something. One thing new that I had in my mind, maybe I could try out. It's something that I've never ever tried before in my life. So I still, of course, there are still new things that I could try out. And there's so many things that I have learned from all the messages and such. But I do want more people to understand that I am, of course, because it's my own body, I am very serious about it, and I have tried out mostly everything. Even the people I meet in Japan, for example, in my classes and the training that I do, a lot of people will be like, "Why don't you just warm your hands?" Or why don't you just eat this? Or, people, for example, like extreme vegans or vegetarians have sent me on, for example, videos of the animals, what's the right word? The animals, like the cows or pigs that will eventually turned, they're raised at those kind of factories, and how they're living in a terrible environment. And they've told me that because you eat this is why your body is dying. so on and so forth, And to be honest, I have tried that out too. I have tried quitting eating meat for a while as well, but it has worsened because it's it's my blood, it's my skin that's starting to rot, for example. So it's just having less, eating less protein. Is that right word in English? It just makes it a lot worse. And of course, I do try to choose the healthiest option whenever I buy pork or chicken or so on and so forth, eggs, but still that wasn't suitable for me. So what I'm trying to say is I really feel that telling it's really close to set. For example, there's a really difficult chronic disease. What's the right English word? Is disease that there's no cure. Where your joints start to get very stiff or start to bend in a different direction. I think you've seen such people before. It's a very severe sickness, but there is no cure to it, right? It's almost like telling those kind of people who have those sicknesses that why don't you do some stretches in the morning, kind of thing. They of course have probably tried out everything they can. So this is the really, really difficult part that I always struggle with, and I was really thinking whether or not I should talk about this to you guys, but it's something that I guess everyone who has very severe sickness has to go through. And I guess it's just something, maybe I am one of the very few people that can talk to you about these things. So I still wanted to share with you guys, because these are some of the thoughts and ideas that only very few people can probably talk about and explain, And it's I'm not here to say that I am like angry towards certain people or so on and so forth. I'm not irritated at all, but I do hope that more people could understand that I am, of course, trying out everything I can to try to cure my sickness, and that still doesn't work. Anything that I ate, no matter how many warm, electric gloves that have heaters in them, that I put on, no matter how many of those facilities that will warm your body, or the oil thingy that you put on your hands to, keep the heat inside your fingers, and so on and so forth. I tried all of those out too, and most of those don't work. So that's the reason why I'm still here with my aching fingers, right? So I just wanted to tell you guys about this. But I still will be trying out something new this year, and once I start doing that, and if I see any progress, I think I might make another video on my main channel, because it's really interesting that some people found my channel through that one video about my sickness. So I think I might make another video to explain about my progress and things that did work, things that didn't work, and so on and so forth. So if you're interested, I hope you can look forward to it. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. As I always say, the ultimate goal of my life is to make all Japan lovers' dreams come true. So I know there's a lot of people studying Japanese, willing to come to Japan to study, travel, work, or even train in traditional culture and such. However, I am very afraid that Japan will not be able to make everyone's dreams come true in the future, because we're facing a lot of social problems, we are losing our traditional culture, and the younger generations who are supposed to be carrying on the good things about Japan are dying because of all the social issues we shoved against them. So I really want to dedicate my life trying to make Japan a better place. I want to try to solve social problems, preserve and evolve traditional culture, and also help out the younger generations so they can have a brighter future. And to do this right now, the nearest goal I have is to buy my very first real bamboo shakuhachi, to do more collaboration videos with Kaminaga Daisuke-san so I can spread the wonderful world of Japanese traditional music, and also if you check out my Suzuri page, which is a merchandise page where we're selling the limited edition Team Last Ask Shogo products until the end of 2022. So I hope you can check these two websites out through the description box if you're interested. Okay guys, thank you so much. Right now, the cure that has been working the best for me is actually taking some niacin, which is actually a type of vitamin B. It has been working the best for me, but I'll see if it will continue to work this year too. And the new cure that I talked about earlier, well, it's technically it's not a new cure, actually. It's not any medicine specifically for the sickness, because there is no specific medicine for the cure. But there is something called the oxygen capsule. Have you guys ever heard of this before? There is this room, basically, that you will spend about like an hour or 2 hours in. And inside the room, the oxygen level is actually higher, so that your body can inhale more oxygen than just, breathing outside. And I personally have really experienced and felt that every time I take deeper breaths, my fingers feel a little bit better. And maybe it's due to how much I'm able to, like, the quality of my breathing might actually be affecting it. I have no clue. I just had to try this out and see if it works, but this is something new that I want to try out. And I'm actually going to be trying out going to a sauna and all of these other stuff too. But anyways, I'll let you guys know as soon as possible. Thank you so much for listening.